Welcome back to Whispers of Turkish Stars, the corner of the internet where on-screen tales collide with real hearts, where the echoes of a moment stretch beyond the studio lights, and where every quiet confession eventually finds its listener. Before we open today's bittersweet chapter, remember to subscribe, drop a like, and if you'd like to support this storytelling adventure even more, tap that join button. Your faith in this channel keeps these narratives breathing. There are times in celebrity life that feel perfectly staged, smoothed down and ready for public consumption. What happened when Ozan Akbaba's composure unraveled on live television did not belong to that tidy world. It felt unguarded, like something pulled straight from a locked room inside his chest. Viewers who tuned into that late-night program expected playful chatter, a few behind-the-scenes anecdotes, maybe a tease for his upcoming project. What they witnessed instead was an actor coming face-to-face with a love he never truly laid to rest. It started with a short, harmless question from the host, harmless until it wasn't. "Is there someone from yesterday you still carry?" A hush settled over the studio. Ozan paused, a small, aching smile bending at the corners of his mouth. He lowered his eyes as if searching the floor for a steadier answer. "Some people never leave," he said softly. "Even when you try to let them." That was the first tremor. The quake arrived minutes later. The producers rolled a sentimental montage of Ozan's career, scenes from earlier roles, press clips, a few treasured shots fans always cheer for. Then, as if fate had slipped into the control room, a still from an old series appeared, Ozan and Sinem Ünsal standing close, their faces turned toward one another with that delicate, cinematic tenderness that once mirrored their off-screen reality. The moment Ozan saw it, something in him seemed to loosen and fall. His breath caught, his lashes grew wet, and he looked like a man caught between the past and a present that hadn't learned how to hold it. "I assumed time would do its work," he managed, voice thinning. "But missing her has become a rhythm of my days. I catch glimpses of her everywhere, between lines, in silences, in the familiar corners of rooms that never stay empty." While we're only partway into this unraveling, listeners of Whispers of Turkish Stars, we want to hear you. Does time mend all wounds, or does it simply teach us to carry them more quietly? Share your thoughts below, we read every word. The internet didn't stroll awake that night, it bolted upright. Social media lit up like a city at dusk, windows turning on from every direction at once. Within minutes, his name climbed the trending lists, quickly followed by hers. Clips of Ozan's strained voice ricocheted across platforms, spliced into fan-made edits with soft instrumentals, tender captions, and montages of scenes that once felt like a prophecy. It was as if a crowd decided, without speaking, to build a cathedral for his heartbreak and then invite the world to step inside. But the interview wasn't the only spark. A hyper-observant noticed a thin bracelet on Ozan's wrist. Barely there, yet impossible to miss for those who have tracked their shared history. Whispers began that bracelet is rumored to be a gift from Sinem, given on a day that mattered only to them. Was he wearing it on purpose? Was it a secret message threaded in silver? Then came a new ripple. Sinem posted a fleeting Instagram story just days earlier, one of the songs they were known to play in the hush of beginnings. The lyric she chose hung in the air like a held breath. Sometimes the loudest thing is the silence between the notes. DMs cascaded into her inbox. Fans captured the story before it vanished, shared it, debated it, magnified it. Was it happenstance? Or a familiar refrain echoing back? People close to Sinem added gentle brushstrokes to the picture. "She has been wistful lately," they said, lingering over old photos, going quiet when the past slips into conversation. And then came the charity gala. She arrived in a soft sky blue dress, the very shade she wore in the final scene of that beloved series. A style coincidence? Or a message dressed as fashion? The public jury is still arguing their verdict. Here at Whispers of Turkish Stars, we have to ask, do you think Sinem is signaling in a language only they share, or are we all reading shadows on the wall? Leave your theory below, we're listening. The plot thickened when an entertainment journalist visiting the set of Ozan's new series reported an unexpected request. According to that source, Ozan asked for a scene with a symbolic nod to a chapter that changed him. The writing team didn't define which chapter he meant, but fans didn't need a map. They leapt to fill in the blank space. Surely this was a quiet tribute to Sinem, a small lantern lit in the corridors of a love that won't flicker out. Then came the moment no one was meant to see. A crew member, identity unknown, captured a shaky, clandestine video in Ozan's dressing room after the broadcast ended. In the dim clip, he sits alone with his thoughts, staring at a photograph. It's fuzzy, but fans recognized the image within moments. Ozan and Sinem, from the early days, when everything was still unfolding and the world felt newly possible. And then, so softly viewers raised their volume to catch it, he murmured, some memories resist the door. Maybe they're not meant to leave at all. The fandom treated that line like a key. Comments sections detonated. They belong together. Sinem, hear him. Love like that doesn't evaporate. As if the emotional weather needed one more shift, a friend who has stood by Ozan for years stepped forward with an intimate detail. Since the breakup, Ozan has kept a private journal. Each day, without fail, he writes something about Sinem, a line she once tossed off that made him laugh, a scent he associates with her mornings, the way certain songs land differently because she once sang along to them. Not as a way to reopen the wound, the friend explained, but as a way to honor the part of him that grew in her presence. Fans immediately began dreaming of a day when those pages might see the light, transforming a personal ritual into a collective hope. Then the most startling twist hit timelines like a dropped glass. An anonymous account uploaded an audio snippet, allegedly recorded in a quiet Istanbul cafe. The voice, which sounded uncannily like Ozan's, said, if she asked, I would set everything down: work, plans, the careful stacks of my life, and start at the beginning with her. No one can verify it, not yet. But the internet needed no coaxing. To most ears, the voice was unmistakable, and the meaning even more so. Meanwhile, observers who attended that same charity event described Sinem as present yet far away, as if she were listening to a song only she could hear. Her smile appeared and vanished like a tide. And then, a small detail floated into the current that fans seized like treasure. On the very same day, both Ozan and Sinem followed the same romantic poetry page on social media. Coincidence, said some. Alignment, said many more. Screens filled with screenshots, arrows, circles, and theories. An old interview clip of Sinem resurfaced too, replayed and reshared until it felt newly minted. In it, she says something that now rings louder: true love doesn't disappear, it hides in the quiet until it finds its path back. Those words, once a line in a conversation, turned into a refrain for two names that refused to drift apart in the public imagination. As of today, neither Ozan Akbaba nor Sinem Ünsal has confirmed a reunion. They have issued no joint statement, offered no last-seen kiss to seal our guessing. And yet the air between them feels charged again, alive with unspoken sentences, unfinished chapters, and the slow heat of a narrative that keeps looping back to the place where it began. Maybe they're both still deciding. Maybe the story is happening where cameras can't go. In the final breaths of that televised interview, Ozan tried to gather himself and leave the audience with something honest but not incendiary. Sometimes, he said, all it takes is an instant, a look that shakes you, a single word, a nearly missed moment to realize the love never truly went anywhere. We are whispers of Turkish stars, and we'll be here, attentive to each turn, honoring every soft signal and every loud silence as this journey unfolds. Don't forget to subscribe, share your feelings below, and hit that join button if you'd like to sustain this work. Until we meet again in the next chapter, be gentle with your heart and with the hearts you hold.